What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Dogman Cometh. I'm Belil Black, and I am finally back. The issues that I've been having are, for the moment, you know, done and gone. And I have my friend, he's like my brother, really, Robert Red. Thank for that. Thank you, bro. Once again, man. And before we get into it, I'd like to thank Dark Waters for hollering at me, and he didn't have to do that, but he did, and he's a really good guy. And I just wanted to thank him for giving me that heads up. And I would have done it sooner, but then everything crashed, and I had that problem. But I also wanted to thank everybody for subscribing and commenting. My the subscriptions really went up after my computer crashed, which is ironic. But I want to thank everybody for that. I really do appreciate it, and thanks for hanging in there. I know it's taken me a little while, but we're back, and today, this episode, I want to talk about the Beast of LBL. Alright, now, there are so many encounters and legends floating around out there, and sightings, and of the beast of the land between the lakes, that a lot of it's really hard to determine what's real and what's not, or what's legend and what's not, and it's going to take some time. So I'm thinking about trying to do a two-parter on this one. I know I've said that before about other episodes, and I will get around to that, but this, the Beast of LBL in particular, I'd like to do a two-parter on right away. But I need to find more information on it. More information that can be, I'd like it to be verified, but you know how verifying information on Dogman and even Bigfoot and stuff like that is, in the world today. And well, let's just see what we can come up with. I think I've got some stuff that y'all might like. This first episode is going to be some of the older legends and stuff, but we'll get into modernity on a later episode, maybe the next episode. I hope y'all enjoy it. Now, guys, as far as the beast of the land between the lakes in Kentucky goes, it is said to resemble a giant half-man, half-wolf that walks on two legs and has five-fingered, human-like hands ending in vicious claws, and sometimes is also described to look more like a Sasquatch or a Yowie or a Bigfoot, more apish, but more often than not it's talked about looking like a dog man or a werewolf, or some kind of creature, canine creature like that. Now, the creature itself is said to stand over 7 foot tall with massive crushing jaws and glowing eyes. And there are a lot of legends attached to the beast. One story begins with a Native American creature with the ability to shapeshift. And I've always said that it's arrogant and foolish as hell to completely dismiss or just brush off what the native peoples of any of any place, of any country or continent, to brush off what the native peoples hand down through oral tradition about the creatures in said lands, because oftentimes they're going to know more about these creatures than anybody else, and they've been around around a lot longer to be able to describe these creatures and these monsters or cryptids. But I digress. Another legend is of a man who left Europe in the 1800s to settle in, quote, between the rivers. This man supposedly possessed a disease that drove him mad as hell after nightfall. The disease was believed to be genetic, or was passed from parent to child over the years. It was hereditary, I suppose. They remained in seclusion, never going to school or ever having the desire to socialize with others until one day when everything just went silent. Many believe the family had died off. An investigation in the early 1900s revealed their homestead vacant and abandoned. Early accounts from French explorers and traders in the region speak of their being warned of the shadowy presence of a loup-garou by the Shawnee fur traders. And a later legend claims that the monster is the spirit of a shape-shifting Shawnee shaman who was killed in wolf form by the inhabitants of his village for abusing his powers. His spirit is said to still walk the woods in search of revenge. Accounts of the creature from the early days of American expansion into Kentucky tell of hunters disappearing in the woods and of strange, unnatural howls that echoed through the forests at night. Now, at this time, bison still roamed wild in Kentucky, and hunters would sometimes encounter mutilated carcasses of these massive animals, lying half-eaten in deep grass, their throats ripped open by massive claws and teeth. Even now, with the efforts to restore the bison to Kentucky, the rangers and herd managers occasionally find calves missing. After one of the young goes missing, the herd is reputedly spooked for days, sticking together in the close formation the animals use to protect themselves from predators. Sightings and encounters with the creature or creatures have also found their way into modern times, and as per usual, they leave an aftermath of fear and paranoia in their wake. And when it comes to creatures like the Dogman and Sasquatch too, even if they're not in predatory mode, which most of the time the legends that I hear and the sightings and encounters that I hear about these creatures, these Dogman creatures at least, are always in predatory mode, almost always. Either that or they're just extremely curious and they just want you out of their territory, period. Which is why a lot of people will get stalked but not attacked all the time. It's like they're just wanting to get you out of there because maybe they're leading you away from their young. Maybe these are just, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Like sentries or watchers that are trying to get you out of that territory while the rest of the pack or the group are heading in the other direction. And if so, that signifies a level of intelligence, maybe not quite on par, but damn near on par with human beings, because that shows planning. It shows that they're planning something, that they're trying to get you away away from the group while the others go in the other direction, and that's pretty damn intelligent. And even with Sasquatch, I mean, just to see one of these imposing creatures and how massive they are, whether not just with Bigfoot but with Dogman too, these things are so massive and so imposing and intimidating that you're liable to run in the other direction anyway. But I know that this episode is going to be kind of short because, like I said, everything that's happened, I haven't really had enough time to get a whole lot of information, which is why I am going to do a follow-up episode for the Beast of LBL, and I hope y'all tune in for that. But I would also I'd like everyone, if you have a comment or you have an idea of or a theory about Dogman, I'd like to hear it in the comments. Feel free, and like and subscribe as always. I am Belil Black. Thank you for joining me once again after a long period of time on the Dogman Cometh. Take it easy, my friends.